Come on. Hear me okay?
Yeah, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
My house is under construction.
Oh, let's see here. What do you haven't done?
Kitchen, living room, dining room.
All right.
So 2/3 of the first floor.
Nice.
Yeah, nothing says nice like poverty.
um, hey Amber, are you on there? I saw her name on there. Oh wait, no,
That's
I'm
you,
using
dude.
her. Yeah, I'm using her account. That's why.
Wow, wow. You guys look exactly alike. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, that happens when you've been married for a while.
Yeah. People confuse me and my wife all the time, I'm sure.
That was easy.
Hey Dana.
And how's everybody doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Whew.
I want to do so this is streaming live to YouTube as well.
Oh, sweet.
Does one of you guys have an extra device that you can monitor YouTube to see if questions come in through there?
Yeah. Yeah, give me a second. I'll pull up my laptop.
Great.
Well, actually, so you can do it right from the same device you're in. I'm on a computer, so
If you can see it.
yeah. So if you look up at the top, if you're on a PC, you see a little thing that says YouTube.
I'm on my phone.
Yeah, me too. So I pulled up the laptop.
But I do see well,
I see a screenshot of you.
Nicola.
I see that it's live. I see it's recording.
There. Military Snatch Explained.
Yeah, it's.
There
I
we
mean,
go.
it's live. I'm watching it on YouTube right now. I can see it.
All right. I have
Cool.
it
So
up
you
I
can
see a screenshot.
and I can see the chat. Nicola. Oh, hold on.
I see that it's live. I see.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, just turn down your volume so that you don't get all that feedback. Great. So you guys can see the comments. I don't need to see them.
Yeah, I see something.
Great.
There will be a delay. It looks like.
Yeah, just a small one. So what's up, Mr. Mike?
Just rolling, dude. Like I was telling Nikolai, my house is under construction. Kitchen, living room, and dining. Kitchen, living room, and den all getting redone. So
Nice.
electrical rough-in goes tomorrow. Plumbing went the other day. Subfloors went 2 days ago. Mechanical's finished pretty much. There's some minor mechanical. Yeah, we got about 3 more weeks.
Nice.
Yeah, it'd be real nice. It'll be straight out of Better Homes and Gardens until it actually gets lived in and trashed by humans, and then I can spend the next 10 years paying for it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. There we go.
Oh, wow. Don't do that. I zoomed your YouTube into full screen on my second monitor. It was like something out of Inception. But it was so much Dana.
How's the weather in Maryland?
Actually,
It's been rainy the past couple of days.
Oh, really?
Up my way anyway.
Yeah, it's been super nice the last couple of days. So going camping this weekend, so hopefully it stays nice.
All right, on.
So motorcycle camping in the rain is not the greatest fun.
Oh, looks like Amber's on the YouTubes.
Yep.
On the chat, what's up, Amber?
Cool. I've got my two boys in the office, so I've begged them to be good for the duration of this Zoom. So we'll see how that goes. They just got done fighting, so
Yeah, my household is the two kids are going at it right now.
yeah.
On the bright side, my kids are old. So we were just back from Parents Weekend. I got one of them in college, and the other one is applying for graduate school. So
That's cool. It's exciting.
yep.
All my kids want to do right now is fight. So
It's a beautiful stage.
they found a lizard today, though. They were like good for about 30 minutes when they found a lizard, and they're trying to make like a little terrarium out of a Tupperware for them.
Nice.
Sarah Lee, what's up?
Oh, hi. Sorry, I didn't realize my mic was on. I'll turn my mic
That's okay.
Yeah, I remember when I was in college, I was working as a lifeguard, and we caught a little black snake at the pool. One of the guys brought in an old fish tank, had that thing in there. It's about this big at the beginning of the summer. We kept feeding him all the frogs out of the skimmers, and so by the end of the summer, that sucker was about to eat house pets.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty massive when we let him go.
All right, it's 3:00. So, what's up, Mike? What's up, Dana?
What is up?
So
And then anybody else who's watching? So we wanted to, because this is the first time we've ever hosted Military Snatch, and I've seen it on YouTube. I saw it for the first time in person at Solomon Macy's competition and at the grip strength competition in Nanaimo.
yeah,
And all I know about it really is this, like, I think it's 12 minutes and I think it's multi-switch as many times as you want. And but that's about it. Mike, what is Military Snatch?
so that's pretty much it. It's not all that incredibly complicated. What you're looking at with Military Snatch is a 12-minute multi-switch snatch, and what you're seeing right now. So I sit on the board of the AKLU, so we're the U.S. Federation under WKSF. And what we were starting to see is a lot of folks globally not that interested in that 30-minute snatch marathon in WKSF sanctioned events.
Really?
Yeah, and
That's surprising.
yeah, it's shocking. I mean, because who doesn't want steakums for hands at the end, right? And so the conversation at Worlds this summer was to look at bringing forward military snatch as an option to that. So you still get that same multi-switch, but it's in that more palatable 12-minute format rather than a half hour or even 60. And so within AKLU, we decided, all right, well, let's see what our lifters think about it here in the U.S. And so we actually got kind of out in front of the federation a little bit, So here in America, we said let's try it out. Looks like fun. Let's see what the lifters think about it. And so we've run it a couple of times, and we have equivalency reciprocity agreements with Canada. So that's why you'll tend to see CKA and AKLU events will do cross ranking and cross eventing. So that's probably where you possibly saw it up a couple of weeks ago. We ran it at Tough Temple a couple of weeks ago as well here in DC. And what we did initially, because it's not even a fully world recognized lift yet, is we just basically took the snatch table times by 1.2 just to see what would happen and put it out there. And we understand it's probably a little light. The 1.2 with multi-switch is probably a little too easy. But we weren't really sure what the hell was going to happen with it. So we put it out there to see how it would go. We had a bunch of lifters sign up for it. And every place we have tried it so far, people have been like, this is deceptively hard and a lot of fun. And so they're having a really good time with it. What we haven't seen is a formal table or announcement for WKSF Worlds this summer in Milan in June. We are expecting that it will look very much like most of WKSF's tables, which is 24s and 32s for guys, 24s, 2016s for the ladies. So it should look about like those tables in that regard. But other than a regular snatch event, it's really not that different. It's just how you pace it out and the strategy you take for when you want to do your hand changes, knowing full well that you lose 3, 4, 5 seconds on a hand change. And beyond that's kind of what you're looking at. But the lifters seem to like it a lot.
On the hand changes, do you have to take that extra swing between the legs, or can you like speed switch it? You know what I mean?
Switch on the straight up.
Yeah.
No, WKSF in general does not allow that upward speed switch. It's still going to be a no count. Same as anything with like a two-hand assist is going to be, is going to be a no count or even a DQ depending on how you do it. But yeah, it's typically the swing switch that you're looking for. What is allowed typically is that drop to rack and dump. So it doesn't have to be a straight down full velocity for the swing switch. So you can drop to rack to break it on the hand change. So, and with a big bell that can help out fairly, something like a 32, that's gonna count for you.
Yeah.
So,
it's still, I mean, it's more volume on your legs and your body, even though got a fly buzzing around here. Even though it's like you get to switch your hands, maybe get a little bit of a break, it's still the same amount of volume.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, if you sort of watch most lifters, right, they start fading about 8, 8:10, 8:30, somewhere around there. The pace usually starts slowing down. They get to that last 30 seconds about 9:30, and it's like the find your soul burst right at the end. But wait, there's 2 more minutes. So mentally, for a lot of lifters, it is not what they're used to because they've trained that the 2 lift sets are like, 10s or 30s. And that 12 is just, they don't know what to make of it quite yet. So it's going to be interesting to see how that develops. From a meet management or a comp management standpoint, it has some implications we've been seeing as well. People don't necessarily know whether to lump it as a long format or a classic format, because it's not that 10-minute classic. It's not those 5-minute amateur formats, but it's also not really, nobody's really sure right now whether it looks closer to marathon as far as what athlete is the segment that's going to get pulled into it yet.
So it looks like Amber asked, she said, is there a minimum weight that you have to use then? Like, is it only like 16s and like
Yep.
you had mentioned,
Yep.
like 24s and 32s for men?
Yep. So, as far as what you're looking at, so within WKSF, because again, that's a world level federation, you don't have a lot of those smaller bell weights you tend to find in the recreational lifting. So for WKSF, the women start at 16. And 24 is those pro women. Some of their events use a 20 for what they call elite women. For the guys, it's 24s and 32s. To address the fact that in the US, that's probably not really where the state of the sport in America is right now. We've incorporated an extended table, which goes down to 8 for women and down to actually 12 for men. So in that regard, we are accounting for it, but those aren't WKSF ranks. So I see Sarah put in there, is there a veteran category? We're not using a veteran category per se. We use a veteran coefficient. We follow WKSF on that here. So what you're looking at is actually Masters 1, 2, or 3. And those are correction coefficients based upon bell weight, volume, and rank.
What age does that start at?
So this is where WKSF is a little bit strange. So you're going to look at, it's going to depend if you're boys or girls. And so it's either 30, 50, 60, or are you looking at a 35, 45, 55 to roll through, because the women's veterans kick in a little bit younger. So can they, Sarah's also is, can they lift lighter in veteran? You're going to have to take a look at the coefficient. It's not going to qualify you for the national team any different. It's just going to rank you a little bit higher. So qualifying for the national team usually lift with a WKSF size bell. So if you take a look on our tables on the WKSF AKLU, the unified table, you'll see each lift where it'll say either AKLU or WKSF/AKLU. The ones where it says WKSF, those are going to be your world's qualifiers that'll get you to Milan this summer.
Do you have to complete the time to get a score?
No, it's not like IKMF in that regard. And so with IKMF, it's an all or nothing kind of a rule. All reps count in WKSF competition. So if you make rank 1 and die at 9:30, you still made rank 1. You just died at 9:30, and you probably could have. You probably could have hit CMS if you hadn't petered out with that extra 90 seconds, but that's kind of how that works. We do differ from, we're not a marathon federation, right? So we leave that to the marathoners. So,
is this available on any other ranking tables that you know of? Like, is it available on IKMF or IKO or?
I don't believe IKO has done it. We do have a reciprocity agreement with IKO, where basically we sort of accept each other's standings as far as for qualifying for anything. Generally, it means that we'll, within AKO, you will take an IKO earned rank to qualify for our team. You'll get a national team invitation if you qualified rank 1 with one of those WKSF bell weights. In a WKSF event. So if you're a guy doing a 16 5-minute, no, that's not going to get you where you need to go. But if you're a guy throwing 24s, then sure, rank 1 is rank 1. And we'll look at your performance. We may ask you to do a video review just to make sure that the lifts were all good and high quality lifts. But we do work together on that, and that relationship's been pretty solid. Same thing with the Canadians. We're presently talking to the English Kettlebell Association. So what you're going to see is more of the WKSF affiliates are going to pick it up first. I don't know of who else might have it out there. IUKL may. I haven't looked at their table recently, but yeah, as far as for within WKSF, we're even out in front of that a little bit because it's still sort of it's still on its way to being a full bore lift. at Worlds. You know, like I said, they're still teasing out those details. I saw Amber asked about how veteran coefficient works. And I want you right now to think about that beautiful mind meme with all the numbers and hypotenuses. It's
Yeah.
a little like that. And that's why we sort of deliberately haven't put ours out here in the US. We actually have right now a veterans working group within the rules committee to build out those masters tables. The reason for it is it's not particularly consistent on the WKSF table. Our treasurer and resident math goddess, Sarah Fornero, has actually baked out and reversed engineered all of the math from the tables that she's got. This is what a PhD will do for you. But she has actually hard coded that. And what we're doing is for AKLU sanctioned lifts, sanctioned events. She'll get you a copy of a auto-calculating mother of all spreadsheets that will effectively manage all of that for you. She's also loaded pretty much everybody's ranking tables into that spreadsheet. So it will auto rank for basically every organization that we are aware of that has a table that she's been able to ingest. So
will we be able to use that
absolutely
in October?
Absolutely, yeah. If you reach out to Sarah, so just Sarah F at aklu.net, she will absolutely positively share that with you. It is her baby. She has been refining it over roughly 6 years. And so it calculates pretty much everything for you for pretty much every table she's been able to get her hands on and code into the damn thing. I cannot comprehend this level of math because I am not that smart, but it's pretty awesome. What we are also working on right now, I guess, sort of, stick your nose behind the curtain for a sec. AKLU is working to turn that into a UI and create what we're dubbed as internally Box, which is a complete meet management website for all AKLU sanctioned events that's going to be available to use for any of our sanctioned hosts. And so we're working on that now. We're actually developing the RFP to put that out to the coder community and see who actually wants to turn Sarah's monster spreadsheet. Hey, it's a mini Zorns. What's up, buddy? So we're looking to code that into get an RFP out there and get that coded into an actual app. So it'll look more like some of the larger strength sports federations like USAPL, USAW, CrossFit, things along those lines, similar to like a competition corner kind of an environment. We actually had looked for some of the existing folks to be able to turn all of this ridiculous level of math into a website for us. And largely we got a thanks, no thanks. They basically said, sounds hard. We don't want to do it. So we'll probably have to do it ourselves. But yeah, Snatch is already in the MOAS, mother of all spreadsheets, and is definitely available for you guys to use in October in Atlantic City.
That app that you're talking about, or I guess, would that like include like a lifter database that's says like, oh yeah, Mike Silverman's PR is back on this date and lifted this weight and blah, blah, blah.
That's the intent, is that if you compete in a sanctioned event, the first time you register to compete in a sanctioned event, you'll get a lifter ID that'll follow you for your career. And every time anytime an event host enters a lifter in, it'll say, hey, are you sure? It looks like Dana. We've seen Dana. Is this actually the same Dana that we're seeing? Yeah, it is. Cool. Lay in Dana's history against that, or put his lifter ID number on there, and then all of his results will carry. We're also hoping that it'll be able to pop out standings and leaderboards for us that are web visible, as well as maintain federation level records. So that because for us, it's a real heavy lift to get the national team assembled every year. That is a phenomenal amount of work because you'll have 700, 800, 1,000 qualifying lifts, individual lifts that go in. for 200 qualifying. You start sending out all of those invitations going, hey, you qualified. Did you want to be considered? And, about half of them are like, cool, but I like video in my garage and I really don't feel like, traveling to Europe. So things along those lines. Worlds are typically in Europe. Trying to get Europeans to fly to the US or Australia is a bit of a pain in the ass. So typically us, the Aussies and Indonesians all end up flying to someplace in Europe. It's easy for them to travel around. So you'll get that. But that management tool that we use, that anybody who's a member not really paired up as a competitor number or lifter number yet. Just not there. Again, it's a matter of we've only been the WKSF rep for a few years, and all things can be cured with cash and time. So time we're working through, cash will take all we can get. But when we tell people, it's like, no, when you pay your $40 to join, this is the stuff we do with it. So this is the kind of thing we're doing. Fielding the national team is very expensive.
Takes a lot of an awful lot of $40
so just uniforms alone are about $4,000 or $5,000 a year. And it is. We got real lucky last year. Virus came out. She said we will outfit up to 50 lifters for you.
That's awesome. I wonder if they'll do that.
And we're like, oh my God,
do that every year.
Budget. Yeah, like it was absolutely fantastic. Other things that that are tough in Worlds. You have to use WKSF's bells. That's one of their things, and so they use than people typically use here in the U.S. So tends to be a little odd when you're doing long sets like mill snatch. It's probably good to be used to that before you go out and.
Amber wants to clarify.
Try and do that in open competition.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Does military snatch qualify you for Worlds if you use the official weight, like 16 or 24 for ladies, 24 or 32 for the gentlemen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. I see the question in there. So yeah, because the AAKO is a sanctioned event and the AKLU is the sanctioning authority for the U.S., we control what the rules in America are. We field the U.S. team. When you get to Italy, you'll be on WKSF's stage using a WKSF bell, but here in America, absolutely a 100% get you the coveted Kim Fox welcome to the team letter. So we absolutely love it. And we specifically approve pro kettlebell within AKLU competitions. They are 100% approved for the Apollo. The Atlas was just a drop too small, but the Apollos are 100% approved.
We'll work on that Atlas. I still think ladies especially, they need that smaller size. It's just to make it competitive for them. If you look at
the biggest thing that we were looking at was not anything to do with the bell, and then they get that huge change when they get to Worlds.
Yeah.
It sets the lifter up at a disadvantage. And so remembering that AKLU started out as a lifter, a lifter's voice. And we still remain a voice of our primary goal is to always set a lifter for success, regardless of the venue that they're in. And so we try and get them as close to that world stage standard in sanctioned events as we can. Same reason that we won't go past a rank 1 on video. That rigor of that live competition for CMS and above. You can't earn an MSIC unless you do it at Worlds within WKSF rules. International class means it was an international competition. Really do try to make sure that when we field that team, that those lifters go to Worlds and are set up for as much success as we can and have the best experience they can. We hear nothing but massively positive when we talk to our lifters when they come back. Every single one of them's like, can't wait for next. Milan's beautiful in the summer, so this year should be great. WKSF actually is headquartered in Milan, so it's home turf for Ole Alika and his club. So it should be
definitely be a good one.
interesting.
I got one more question. The name Military Snatch, and I think
looks
some
like
of the
Sarah's
videos.
asking, how do we know?
Wait, what was that?
No, look. We had a question in the chat.
Go ahead with the question. I can ask mine later.
So it looks like Sarah says, love the ID and tracking numbers. Thanks for doing all of that. For Military Snatch, is there a draft we can look at for now, or do we need to contact Sarah? How do we know if Lift qualifies for Milan? So the simplest answer to that is take the current AKLU Snatch table and multiply it by 1.2.
Simple.
It's a provisional lift right now, so we're not going to issue a final table on it until WKSF does, because anything that's in one of their weights, we take verbatim. Anything that's not one of their weights, we extrapolate out. So we don't want people training towards a number that's not real, and we don't want to get too far out in front of them. We're already pretty far out in front of them right now. Because we're sort of on that wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We're feeling real confident this is going to show up at Worlds. But yeah, we've deliberately held off on formalizing that mill snatch table, and are just using 1.2 for it. Take 10 to 12, right? So super high end math on that we figured.
Could you tell us anything about the history of Military Snatch? I've seen the YouTube videos, and I've seen some military guys doing it in like combat boots and like,
that is a question best asked of an old Soviet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. We'll get
I was
going
to say my uniform said USA on it, so I didn't do that.
Fair enough. We'll have to get
pull-ups and 2-mile runs, man.
We'll have to get Ivan Denisov for one of those guys on here one of these days and ask them about it.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that. I would also
if it's legit or if it's like
just a term they use.
If it's just like comrade, you know what I mean? Like it's just like a stereotype.
Yeah, it's like when people call workouts tactical, and,
right.
and expecting some guy with battle rattle and an M4 running through.
Right. Yeah, Molly.
The guy's out there with his sappy plates and throwing kettlebells around. Go for it, man. It's a tactical workout.
Great. Is there anything else
in the gym?
Is there anything else you can tell us about the Military Snatch before we let you go?
No, like I said, it's not that incredibly complicated. It's just hard as hell. Just because those extra 2 minutes, even just from a psychological standpoint, it is definitely a big shift. But we're pretty optimistic. Like you said, we've had a bunch of folks compete in it so far in 2 or 3 comps. We're expecting All-American Kettlebell Open to have some folks competing in it and go from there. Definitely want to hear from the lifters. If the lifters are like this, this is too much fun, we love it, or this is absolutely awful, we hate it. We want to hear all of it. Like I said, we don't want to put out stuff that the lifters hate.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a membership-based organization. So if you love Military Snatch, please let me know. If you hate Military Snatch, also let me know. I'm not going to get real offended either direction.
Well, I know Boris Fernandez, he's coming, and he competed last year and he requested it. He said it's on a ranking table. I can't remember what ranking table he said it was on, but he really wanted to do it. Love Boris Fernandez. I was like,
Yep.
basically,
He's
you
an
want it,
ACLU
you
national
got it.
member. He's a beast, man.
Yeah, so he'll be doing it, and hopefully
Nicest
we'll
guy.
see a good flight. We've got a lot of 24 kilo lifters, so just the regular 10-minute snatch in 24 is going to be pretty competitive. But I'd like to see a competitive, military snatch flight as well. And it was really cool watching Solly do it with Paul Klein, and
Paul's
it
a
was
beast, man.
it
Paul's
was impressive. I think they both did like around 250, and Solly did with 24s. Paul, he's a veteran and he's come back from a hip surgery, and he did it with 12s, and they both put up spectacular numbers. And but they're, I could tell they were tired at the end.
It looks like Paul's healing up nice.
That guy stays ready. You know what I mean? He's a battler.
He is a hell of a lifter. And again, the AKLU table, we put 12s in there for men all the way down, pretty much all the way down the lifts. So it looks like we got a Brit. We love Snatch in the UK. Sweet. But I think that was a little bit of a wink, wink, nudge, nudge from on the comment and the emojis of cats. But yeah, like you said, the AKLU table goes down to 12s for men. Caps out at rank 3 with a 12 kilo bell, but we wanted a way that there was still a way that people can compete and get ranked. If you had somebody who was a rookie guy or a dude coming back from something or just sort of getting their toe in there, we didn't want to exclude anybody based upon bells cap out at rank 3. For the ladies, they can go down to 8. Again, 8's cap out at rank 3. To get a rank 1 is going to require a bigger bell. Yeah, other than that, like I said, it's following the AKLU Snat is about as simple as we could have made it.
Great.
All right.
Well, thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you, Nikolai.
All right. And then
City.
Yes, we'll be back Tuesday. Tentatively Tuesday, same time with Judge Judy, and she's going to go over pentathlon. We'll talk about pentathlon rules and yeah, same format. Just want to go over pentathlon and open it up for anybody else who wants to jump into that pentathlon flight.
And Judy is also the WKSF North America representative.
Cool. Yeah.
So
no better person to do it. Love Judge Judy.
Yeah, hit Judge Judy up on when this thing goes official. She'll know before I will.
Yeah, she said if she doesn't get held up at work, 6 o'clock is a great time.
Okay. Nice. Well, hopefully we'll see you on Tuesday. If not, then we'll catch up when she's available.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
All right, gentlemen.
All right, guys.
Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Talk to you later.
You too. Thanks, Mike.
All right. Bye.
Coach.
See ya.